From Fox 5 News, this is Good Day New York.
Okay, good morning. It is Friday, January 16th, the day after that amazing rescue on the Hudson River. I'm Greg Kelly.
I'm Rosanna Scotto. Thank you so much for joining us.
A look at what's going on. Of course, the U.S. Airways plane. It's an incredible story. It is now tethered to a wall at Battery Park City this morning as the National Transportation Safety Board tries to figure out exactly what forced this plane out of the sky and into the water.
And take a look at this. New eyewitness video coming in this morning. The pilot successfully lands Flight 1549 in the Hudson River. Everybody survives.
You just heard the pilot, brace yourself for impact. You know, how do you brace yourself for impact when you know your plane's about to crash?
And the pilot is being hailed as a hero as 155 people. Everybody, all passengers, all crew members made it out alive.
We've had a miracle on 34th Street. I believe now we've had a miracle in the Hudson.
As we've said, all 155 people on board were rescued from the icy waters as ferries were turned into rescue boats.
And they were dealing with some incredibly cold temperatures. All right, we're going to talk all about this mishap. We also have to tell you about the weather, though, today. A lot of people still heading to work.
Absolutely. It's business as usual right now, right?
Yes,
Mike?
for the most part, yes. And of course, you know, this being the coldest day that we've seen in about 2 years, a lot of folks are going to be talking about that as well. So, you know, the weather's a big player out there. Thankfully, things ended up okay in the end with the incident yesterday. But the weather certainly could have been warmer. And it looks like the cold S stuff is sitting on top of us outside right now that we've seen in quite a while. As a matter of fact, your temperature is sitting at around 10 degrees for most of us here. We dropped to 7 now for you, Islip, 11 degrees for you out at LaGuardia, and 10 for you out at Newark. And as far as winds go, they make a difference. We have winds up to around 10 to 15 miles per hour, but sometimes gusting to as high as 25. So that's why your wind chill factors are down in the below zero range. About 0 to 5 degrees below zero is the average wind chill factor for you. But as you head to the northwest, look at that, 17 below in Monticello. That is because of the winds and the cold temperatures in the area. Yeah, you've got wind chill advisories there. As far as satellite goes, we do have mainly clear skies. There were a few snow showers over the Twin Forks, but that has now started to move along. There are the wind chill advisories that we're speaking of. They're up for you. Sullivan County, Ulster County, back up around the Poconos, and that's until Saturday at about noon. So we've got the clear, cold day coming up for us with lots of sunshine, high temp up to 17. And then as we take you through the next 5 days, tomorrow will be dry as well, but more clouds coming in as the day goes on. 22 for a high, then 34 for you on Sunday. And we do have snow showers pretty much throughout the day. It starts up around mid-morning, maybe around 9 to 10 or 11 o'clock, and then continues through the day with some minor accumulations. Should be maybe a little bigger than what we had yesterday, but still not a huge storm. More on your forecast is coming up shortly here. Greg?
Rosanna, when we first heard the news about what happened yesterday, it seemed like the report could not have been correct.
You know, I kept looking at the pictures and saying, this is surreal. This really can't be happening.
When the police divers apparently originally got the word, they assumed, like a lot of us did when they hear that there's a plane crash in the city, that it was a small plane. A propeller plane, when they heard that there were survivors and they were en route. But I think the pilot said that he, not in a million years, would have assumed or would have thought that this was, no kidding, a major airliner, a jetliner.
Now, you flew planes for the military, and you were also involved in a crash landing, right?
I was, and it's a traumatic experience. And I can tell you one thing that folks are looking at. Here we have an exact replica, really, of the U.S. Air flight that crashed. This is the plane. It's being described as a bird strike that happened, and bird strikes happen. I had one once, didn't go down the engine, but what is extremely unusual, if we get that tight shot again, what apparently happened, what investigators are going to be looking at first is not one, but 2 engines, and you can see on an Airbus-style aircraft, the engines are have a pretty wide spread between them. So it would be extremely unusual, like a 1 in a billion chance that there would be a dual bird strike. Apparently that's what happened, and thank goodness that Captain Sullenberger was at the helm.
He almost made it look effortless. And you know, you've been at the wheel there, and you know what it's like.
Well, I don't know what a water landing is like, and here's something else. You don't train for this. You actually don't train for this. It's one page in the textbook, but you cannot practice landing on the water. It's impossible. Well, this morning, the investigators are looking at the scene, and we've got team coverage.
Yes, we have team coverage for you right now of how the survivors are doing this morning and the amazing rescue effort that helped save them. We begin with Fox 5's Linda Schmidt in Battery Park right now, where U.S. Airways Flight 1549 sits in the water this morning. Now, Linda, did you work overnight? What are you doing here this morning?
No, you know what? I was actually in Pennsylvania. I had the day off yesterday, so I was about 2.5 hours from here, and then I drove home last night and got up at about 3 o'clock this morning to be at work this morning. But, you know, even when I heard you guys talking about those images, when you looked at them on television, it just seemed inconceivable. But this pilot, absolutely a hero this morning. I've got to tell you, out here today, it is absolutely frigid, and that's what NTSB investigators will be dealing with, the elements of the weather today. And I'm going to step out of the way right now because you can actually see part of the wing of the plane that is still submerged here in the water. Investigators, like I said, out here on the scene already. I spoke with one of the NTSB investigators just a few minutes ago. They're not talking on camera to any local television stations at this point, but he did tell me the 2 black boxes are in the tail of the plane. They will be getting those black boxes today and, of course, going over them. The focus of it will be the cockpit voice recorder, which will, of course, tell you exactly what was going on, what the pilot was saying in the cockpit at the time. But again, that will be one of the primary focuses of this investigation.
There's been a lot of speculation as to the cause of this accident already. However, the NTSB investigation is just beginning. We'll be looking into all aspects of the accident, including airplane structures, systems, power plants, flight crew operations, survival factors, air traffic control, and airplane performance.
The U.S. Airways Airbus A320 had just taken off from LaGuardia Airport for Charlotte, North Carolina. The FAA says a flock of birds knocked out both of the plane's engines, causing electrical fires.
About 3 or 4 minutes into the flight, I was sitting in 22A, so the left engine just blew. Fire flames coming out of it, and I was looking right at it because I was sitting right there.
Now the pilot guided the plane down in a textbook water landing in the Hudson River just off of West 48th Street and 12th Avenue in Midtown Manhattan. While the plane was floating, the pilot and his 4-person flight crew got all 150 passengers off the wreckage alive, although there were some injuries.
People were bleeding all over there, man. The place where I got off, some lady's leg got cut up.
As soon as my guys heard the plane, 4 boats were on site immediately. My office dispatched as many boats as we had at that time.
All right, now take a look right here behind me, because this is a massive crane that's also been brought in this morning. What this is going to be doing is actually lifting the wreckage out of the water and taking it to a hangar someplace. And again, NTSB investigators will be going over every inch of that plane during this investigation. That's the very latest from here. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you very much, Linda. All right, just a few minutes ago, we spoke with one of the passengers aboard Flight 1549.
Fred Beretta was one of 23 Bank of America employees on that plane. He described the harrowing moments as the plane impacted the water.
It felt severe, definitely. I think we hit the ceiling, jostled around a lot. Didn't last very long, but it seemed to last a long time, even though it was only a few seconds. Mm-hmm. And then we're just amazed that the plane was intact. We just all made our way to the exit doors. They were open, and people were certainly hurrying to get out, but it wasn't a mass panic, as I recall at all. Certainly there was emotion and intensity, and we were just getting out in order, and people were waiting for those in front.
Controlled chaos, I guess you could say. Friends and family of the passengers waited anxiously for word about their loved ones.
Many of them were taken to the hospital, actually a handful were taken to the hospital. They were suffering from hypothermia. They all seem to be doing well, those who were treated. Those passengers who were not injured were taken to a hotel near LaGuardia Airport, and that's where Fox 5's Charles Leaf is right now. He's spoken with some of the passengers already. Charles, they're going about their lives pretty quickly. We had one passenger, the one we just saw, he's flying out today at 11 o'clock, business as usual.
Absolutely. Greg and Rosanna, good morning to you. Yes, we're just actually across from the Grand Central, across from LaGuardia Airport, Crown Plaza Hotel. I like to say that this is last night and this morning probably the happiest place anywhere in the United States, and that is because this is the gathering point, the staging point for the survivors of that crash on the Hudson. They were, many of them, these passengers, these survivors, were reunited with their loved ones here. Some of those loved ones perhaps coming in from points outside of New York City, some coming from Charlotte, North Carolina, to meet up with their loved ones here at the hotel where they could sort of collect themselves and just really take a deep breath, a sigh of relief that they had survived this unbelievable event. We had an opportunity, the only television reporter here that had a chance to speak with one of those survivors just as he arrived here on his way into the hotel. How you doing, sir?
Great.
Were you on board the flight? How you feeling, sir?
Feeling fine.
How was the experience? Must have been harrowing.
It was terrifying. But if it was anything, it was the best way to have a plane.
Now, do you have family coming in to meet you here? Where are you from?
No, I'm from Charlotte. I'm headed back to Charlotte in the morning.
So, do you have family coming to meet you?
No, not here.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm exhausted.
Sir, if you
What's your name, sir?
Clay Presley.
Clay?
Clay.
Presley? Thank you, Mr. Presley.
Thank you.
Come on, good morning, Matt.
Well, Mr. Presley joining his fellow survivors here at the hotel. You see the NYPD escorting him in where they provided some aid and comfort. The Red Cross has been here since late yesterday afternoon, early evening. They've been working through the night to make sure that these survivors and their families had a place to come, gather, again, sort of reunite, reconnect. Can you imagine for a family member maybe outside of the New York City area that knew that their loved one was on a flight from LaGuardia to Charlotte, and then they heard that a flight from LaGuardia to Charlotte had crashed in the Hudson River, the terror that they must have had, then the elation finding out they were alive and reuniting with them here. Those are the stories that are coming out of this hotel. We hope to have more of them coming up throughout the course of the day. Rosanna?
A lot to be grateful for this morning, Charles. Thank you so much. And if you see the papers, oh my goodness, hero on the Hudson, you're going to know his name, Chesley Sullenberger. He's being called a hero this morning. His safe landing of Flight 1549 is being credited with saving everybody on board. He has been a pilot for more than 40 years. Shortly after taking off from LaGuardia Airport, air controllers say he reported a double bird hit, meaning that both engines on his A320 Airbus were blown out, possibly from hitting a flock of geese. Both Mayor Bloomberg and Governor Patterson praised his quick thinking for saving everybody's life.
The pilot did a masterful job of landing the plane in the river and then making sure that everybody got out.
We've had a miracle in the Hudson. This was potentially a very tragic incident. This pilot somehow, without any engines, was able to land this plane.
Pilot Sullinger, is expected to be debriefed by NTSB officials later today.
He trained by the United States Air Force. He's an Air Force Academy graduate, spent about 9 years flying F-4s. One thing I found very interesting in the reports today, published reports, a certified glider pilot. And that opens up a whole realm of aviation that as a jet pilot, who's never glided anything,
right.
It's foreign to me. It helps explain how he was able to pull off this
incredible
landing.
You say they practice a lot of different things, but there's no way to practice basically a crash landing on the water.
Correct. I know that some airlines don't even teach it in the syllabus. There is one page in the manual about what configuration to put the aircraft in, and then it says perform a soft landing. So an amazing job from that pilot, apparently. All right, moments after the crash landing, emergency crews and ordinary citizens rushed to the rescue of passengers from that plane.
Fox 5's Catherine Craig is in Weehawken right now with that part of the story. Catherine, what's going on this morning?
Yeah, well, this is one of the areas, Rosanna and Greg, that some of the passengers were brought to soon after they were rescued. And you are talking about a miracle on the Hudson. You had heroes on the Hudson as well. For so many people, what strikes them is that some of the first rescuers, the New York waterway workers, they rushed over there to the airplane. They rescued the passengers, and these are ordinary folks who did an extraordinary task.
New York waterway workers saw the plane crash land in the water, and they raced their ferry to the rescue. Within minutes, the plane was surrounded by boats and heroic rescuers.
I was in shock. I mean, you see a plane coming down, hitting the water. You don't see that around here, so.
We got the light of the town. We started getting people off,
I saw 2 babies. I'm telling the lady, let me get the baby. She didn't want to get rid of the baby. So the other boat came and rescued the other side.
They were on the raft on the wing, and there were a few people in the water.
And then there are Mike Delaney and Robert Rodriguez of the NYPD scuba team. They dropped from a chopper into the water and found one woman in a panic.
She was very frantic at the time. I just told her to relax. I asked her what her name was. She said, please don't let me go. She thought that the boat was going to run over us at the time.
Rescuers fought freezing winds and a rising tide. As water flooded the plane, they got everyone out.
We went into the plane. We did a quick search. We saw that there was nobody else in the plane. And at that point, the headrests in the back of the aircraft were already going underwater.
The drivers for these boats and their crews that assisted, they were awesome. We can't say how appreciative we are of what they've done and how they've assisted us.
And the stories are all so incredible. Some of the passengers who were brought here to the terminal, they were given food and coffee from the workers who were here at the time yesterday from that concession stand. And we've been talking with some of the regular Monday through Friday ferry passengers who go through here, and they too today are applauding the efforts of all the rescuers. Reporting live, Catherine Craig, Fox 5 News. Back to you, Greg and Rosanna.
Thank you so much, Catherine. And yes, we're applauding them too. We have some here. We're hearing some more amazing stories this morning about this rescue effort.
Joining us now, 2 members of the NYPD Harbor team. You just saw one of them in that video clip. They helped pull passengers out of the water. They saved lives. Detectives Michael Delaney and Detective Robert Rodriguez, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here. Yesterday, you jumped out of a helicopter, both of you. A helicopter was over the crash site into the water. Tell us what happened, Detective Delaney.
There were 2 divers assigned to the Air Sea Rescue Unit out of Floyd Bennett Field, out with the aviation unit. We got the call for an aircraft in the water. By the time the job came over, it was reported to us, and by the time we got there in the water, we were probably there in about 5 to 6 minutes.
Detective Rodriguez, when you got to the plane, what was the first thing you did? Did you search underneath the plane first, or did you go in the plane?
Well, the first thing you want to do is get an assessment of the outside of the plane. We wanted to make sure it wasn't submerging, and then we entered the plane, gave a quick look, went to the center aisle area, and as we were in there, we noticed that the water level was rising. So at that point, we had to make a decision to...
How high was it on, on your body? How high was the water level?
Well, I'm kind of like in a lateral position. I mean, I'm stretched out in a diving position, so I'm not really standing up in any way. When I entered it, I entered it.
Were you underwater at some point inside the plane?
Yeah.
Inside the plane, you're underwater?
Briefly, yeah.
All right. Now, 2 women are especially grateful for you. You encountered them outside. They thought they were going to be run over by a tugboat, I believe.
Well, when we pulled up onto the scene, we didn't realize how large of a scale this operation was going to be. We looked out. We saw one woman in distress at the moment. She was hanging onto the front of a ferry boat, and from the helicopter, we saw that there was distress. At that point, I dumped all the equipment that I was wearing, my scuba tank, weight belt, and jumped out of the helicopter and swam immediately to her.
She was hanging on, but she was about to let go. She was suffering from hypothermia. It was fast.
Absolutely.
Did they have any kind of safety vests on or anything like that? Was that helping them?
She did. She had slung onto her arm. She had a life vest, and she was holding on. And as soon as I got to her, I told her to let go, and I swam her over to another boat that was in the area. And both me and Detective Rodriguez, along with the crew of the ferry boat, assisted her up onto the boat at the time.
That must have felt unbelievable. What was going through your mind as you made this rescue?
Not much at the time. There's a lot of other things that you're thinking about. We were just looking to help her at that time, and then immediately we wanted to find another victim or someone else to help at that moment. So.
And the report is that the pilot, you all anticipated when you heard that there was a plane down in the Hudson River, it was a small plane, perhaps a small propeller plane, not a massive jetliner like this.
Not a massive jet. We've had small planes go down before, and in the past, before me and Mike were on the team, of course, our scuba team was involved with Flight 800, so our team did have the experience with large aircraft, but as far as our experience was concerned, this is probably the biggest event we've ever been involved in.
You keep training for something like this, and then when it actually happens, do the steps go through, what goes through your mind? Do you go through the steps in your head, or do you is it instinct?
really don't think that you're thinking about much at the time. You're not thinking about the steps. You're just looking to help as many people as you possibly can at that moment. And based on the training that we've gotten on the police department, I think everything worked out pretty good yesterday.
You're wearing dive suits. You're wearing suits that protect you from the cold, but it's still pretty cold water. It doesn't make cold water warm, correct?
No, it does not. No. It does not at all.
So were you freezing in that water? How long could you be in that water?
We were prepared for the cold, and we were wearing dry suits, so we weren't wet under. We didn't get wet at all. But the people that were in the water, that were wet, they seemed that they were starting to reach hypothermia at that point.
All right, Detective Michael Delaney, Detective Robert Rodriguez. By the way, I understand you are friends of the show. You are fans of the show. You watch.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
No, he was telling me about the Good Day Cafe he saw last week when we first met. So they're not just saying that. Thank you so much.
We appreciate great work.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, and there were a lot of grateful passengers out there today.
Thank you so much.
All right, stay with Fox News for continuing coverage of the miracle on the Hudson River. We've also got everything you need to know on myfoxny.com.
But right now, let's talk about the weather, because you know what? It's 7:20 and it's cold outside. Mike Woods, get us up to date.
All right, yeah, it's cold and it is going to warm up, but not much today. Check out your temperatures. We've got temperatures in the single digits and low teens. 11 for you out at LaGuardia, 10 out at Belmar and Newark. That's not even considering the winds. When you factor in the winds, it feels like we're about between 0 and 5 below around the core of the tri-state, but as much as 13 and 14 degrees below for you in Sussex as well as Monticello, respectively there. And you do have some wind chill advisories up to the northwest in effect for you. Sullivan County, also out around the Poconos. That's up until tomorrow at around noon, as your wind chill factors there will be between 10 and 20 below zero. Moving you through the next 48 hours. Dry today, a lot of sunshine, but it is going to be cold. Clouds coming in tomorrow, but no snow through the day tomorrow, but we will see some snow coming in for you on Sunday. But today, a lot of sunshine, high temperature of 17 degrees. Then tomorrow, the clouds come in, high temperature of 22. Snow starts up at around the mid-morning, say around 9 o'clock on Sunday, and goes through the day. Right now, we're looking at snow totals. As this thing pulls out of here by Monday morning, we should see about 2 to 5 inches of snow come down. So it's going to be a decent-sized storm coming in for the second half of the weekend here. Greg?
Thank you, Mike. Coming up, 2 EMTs who rushed to the scene and helped rescue the passengers. They'll be with us.
Good Day brought to you by Ashley Furniture Home Store. You're going to love this place.
From Jennifer, a microfiber sofa bed for just $2.99. Only at Jennifer. $2.99. Jennifer, the only place to buy a sofa bed.
I'm one big bad mucus, and I'm taking over this town.
To fight your baddest mucus, there's Maximum Strength Mucinex. One pill has the most mucus-fighting medicine to get rid of chest congestion for 12 hours. Maximum Strength Mucinex in, mucus out.
How your home looks says a lot about you. How it smells says more. For germy odors, there's Lysol Nutra Air Freshmatic. It sprays automatically to constantly remove germy odors. Oust can't do that. Lysol Nutra Air Freshmatic.
Tired of morning coming in the middle of the night? Ask your prescriber about 2-layer Ambient CR. The first layer dissolves quickly to help you fall asleep, and unlike other sleep aids, a second dissolves slowly to help you stay asleep. Until you know how Ambient CR will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Plan to devote 7 to 8 hours to sleep before being active. Sleepwalking and eating or driving while not fully awake with amnesia for the event have been reported. In rare cases, severe allergic reactions can occur. If you experience any of these behaviors or reactions, contact your doctor immediately. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. It's non-narcotic and can be taken for as long as your prescriber recommends. Like most sleep aids, it has some risk of dependency. Don't take it with alcohol. To wake up ready for your day, ask your prescriber for 2-layer Ambient CR.
Working in the mailroom has taught me a lot about business. Hi, Miss Cowens. She lost everyone's pension. That's okay. She still gets the big bucks. It's not for me, though. I'm going for the jumbo bucks.
Jumbo bucks from the New York Lottery. Win up to $3 million.
2 of television's most acclaimed series come together on one blockbuster night.
Great. Now everyone knows.
Fox Monday, a new night for House, a new season of 24. It doesn't get any better than this.
He's not going to tell you anything, but he will talk to me.
It all starts Monday at 8 on Fox 5.
Take a ride with a Fox 5 Energy Team. A warm engine is more efficient, so combine your errands into one trip and see how much you save. Go to myfoxny.com to learn more.
Welcome back as we were looking at live pictures of that Airbus plane from U.S. Airways Flight 1549.
This is not a sight you normally see in the Hudson River, but you know what? I love our town, New York, New Jersey came together in a miraculous display yesterday. So we're thanking everybody.
Some amazing stories of heroism this morning, and two of them were joined by two more. EMTs from St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital. They rushed to the scene.
That's right. With us this morning, Mike Benny and Helen Rodriguez. Thank you so much for being here this morning. You work for St. Luke's Roosevelt. You got the call. You went there. What did you see, and what went through your mind? Come on, Mike. Give us the story here. I know you've been on the job 20 years.
How many people did you treat yesterday?
Well, that's the first question. When we first got there, we saw a plane in the water, and going through our heads, we were just thinking about how many people could possibly be on there. And we started to get all our equipment out. We were told that they were bringing a group of people from one of the boats that was helping out in the water to a pier. And when we got there, they were getting off the pier, the victims, and there were a lot of them were cold, freezing, shaking. So we had a handful of blankets with us. We started handing out the blankets to them. Initially, because we were one of the first ones there, we had to get more blankets to hand out. But everything worked out good.
And Helen, there was one case, though, that required particular attention, a 23-year-old man. Tell us about that.
He had problems with his knee, and he was frozen. He had no clothes on because he had taken off his clothes.
He took off his clothes in the water?
In the water.
So he could swim?
So he can swim because he felt like they were going to go down.
Wow. So obviously you wrapped him in blankets.
We wrapped
him
in blankets, put him inside the bay where the other passengers were.
What were they like? Were they in shock? Was he in shock at this point? Did you have to treat anyone for shock?
Not really. It was basically a controlled scene. There wasn't that many hysterical people, which shocked me. You know, there was a couple kids that were there that were holding on to their mom. They weren't really crying or screaming, but they were in cold shivering. You know, it was.
Now you said you had blankets. How many blankets did you have in your truck?
We had like 6 or 8 of them that we just took all the blankets right out of the ambulance that we had. We put them on the stretcher and got up there. Unfortunately, in the beginning, that wasn't enough. But as a couple minutes went by, we had some more blankets come to us. Then the Red Cross brought boxes of blankets, and we were able to give them to the different other people.
And some people were hospitalized for hypothermia. What happens when you become hypothermic, when you're in the water for a length of time, cold water?
Well, initially, your body temperature goes down. You start to shiver, you shake. You know, you can start to have a little slurred speech. If it gets really serious, then you go unconscious. But knock on wood, the ones that we treated, the ones we saw, none of them were in severe hypothermia.
That is amazing.
I see a picture of you right there, right by that ambulance.
Yeah.
Is that the young man that was treated for hypothermia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, was he able to talk to you, or was he kind of in a state of shock? Helen, give us an idea.
No, he talked to us. He was just surprised. He was on his way to celebrate somebody's birthday. And he said he'll never get on a plane again.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sure you guys see a lot working in New York City. Obviously, something like this must have shocked the pants off you yesterday, no?
Not really. It's just some
Helen,
cool, calm professionals.
New York? Is that what you're going to tell me?
You work in New York. That's what you expect when you go on a job.
Well, Helen Rodriguez and Mike Benny, EMTs from St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital, thank you so much for all you did yesterday and sharing your stories with us.
All right. Thank you very much for having us.
Good work. And we're going to be right back.
So,
Closed captioning brought to you by Lexus.
What factors should you consider when buying a luxury vehicle? Should you put MPG on top? What about resale or reliability? The truth is, when you fit all 7 costs together, you'll see why the Lexus RX has the lowest cost of ownership in its class. See how your costs align at lexus.com/intelligent choice. And then visit your New York, New Jersey, Connecticut Lexus dealer.
How do you get the quality window treatments you want for less than you'd expect?
Just call Empire today.
Shop at home and choose from sheer to blackout and everything in between. Whatever style or color you're looking for, Empire has it. And we offer the lowest price guaranteed. Plus no payments till 2010. We even install next day. Call today for quality window treatments and the lowest price guaranteed.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
I'm telling you, you kids have it easy.
We had to get our internet from a phone company. And the phone from a phone company, too.
I had to walk 5 miles to the video store for the latest releases.
In the snow, uphill.
Remember when your cable, phone, and internet came from 3 different companies? Well, now thanks to Cable's Triple Play, those days are history.
Just count yourself lucky.
We got our TV from a dish. And our movies, they came on one of these. My phone bill was crazy. Different amount every month, taxes and fees.
Crazy. Crazy. No. Not you.
With Cable's Triple Play, you'll get digital cable in HD with tons of on-demand movies, internet that leaves the phone companies in the dust, and unlimited calling without all those hidden fees and taxes. All on one bill for under $90 a month.
Those days were tough.
Downloading pictures?
An hour.
Or 2. Buffering.
Call 1-800-646-0456 and get the Triple Play.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yes. Yes, it was.
You didn't pay for the germs. Why pay for the antibiotics? Stop & Shop pharmacies are filling antibiotic prescriptions for free through March 21st, so you can keep your family and your budget healthy. Free antibiotics, another real deal from Stop & Shop. Tightening your belt this new year? Let Stop & Shop help with a real deal on lean pockets, now 5 for $10, plus savings on stuff you need all winter long. Our resolution is to save you more with real deals from Stop & Shop.
From Fox 5 News, this is Good Day New York.
Good day, New York. We're counting our blessings this morning. I'm Rosanna Scotto.
And I'm Greg Kelly. Thank you very much. 155 people alive this morning. And, you know, in some way, it is a miracle, as Governor Patterson said.
Yes. And the investigation begins into the splash landing of U.S. Airways Flight 1549 into the Hudson River.
Survivors are telling their stories. We're also hearing the stories from the heroic rescuers, the people who saved their lives.
And we're going to have a reaction to the landing that caught everybody by surprise. Hello.
Another big story we are following is the weather. It actually had a role in yesterday's mishap. Those Canadian geese probably wouldn't have been there if it wasn't this time of year.
I heard the people in Canada want us to be politically correct and not call them Canadian geese. They had nothing to do with it.
Well, they did not have paperwork on them.
They're actually Canada geese, but whatever.
Oh, they're Canada geese?
The Canada geese.
Well, regardless, they could be from upstate New York, I suppose.
That's right. They don't want to have anything associated with their country.
Well, we should check their working papers.
All right.
All right, meanwhile.
Let's get to New York Weather Authority right now. Mike Woods with the forecast. It's freezing, much colder than yesterday.
It is. It is a lot colder, and it's still a little bit breezy outside. And so, yeah, that's what we're suffering with. You know, a lot of times at this time in the morning, we do birthday shout-outs and so on. We have actually 2 birthdays. One's Leah, which is the niece of one of our little staff workers here.
I love that.
And the other one is our hero, Benny.
Benny? Mike Benny?
It's his birthday yesterday.
Mike.
And he didn't even say anything. Happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you very much. I guess my partner told you it was my birthday.
Yeah. We got to make him a cake.
Mike,
a good day cake.
What a way to celebrate your birthday.
Right?
Yeah. At least this time I didn't get yelled at from the girlfriend for not showing up for the birthday cake on time.
All right.
Happy birthday, even though, you know what? You did a wonderful thing. I'm so glad that our Good Day folks are heroes at the same time.
They watched the show. Thank you so much, Mike.
I always watch the show every morning.
Excellent.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, we got a forecast that is actually definitely a cold one. Let's take a look at the maps and show you what's going on. We've got temperatures this morning starting off in the teens for the tri-state region, even some single digits out there. Right now, 7 degrees for you, Islip, 13 below in Sussex. And yeah, as far as skies go, things are actually looking pretty good. Mainly clear skies. Had a few quick snow showers over the east end of Long Island, but that's done. Now it's the wind chill advisories up to the northwest. It's going to be cold and breezy today. Lows in the single digits, highs in the teens. And other than that, it should be a pretty quiet day out there. In fact, we got 2 days of quiet weather coming up our way. 17 degrees, that's your high temperature for the day here today. Tomorrow, more clouds coming in, a high of 22. And then here comes the snow, which will be accumulating. Some folks could see as much as 5 inches out of that, and it starts up Sunday morning. More in your forecast is coming up in just a little bit. We'll send it it over to you there, Greg.
All right, thank you very much there, Mike. Truly a miracle on the Hudson River yesterday.
It is amazing, and we're so happy to say that 155 people are safe this morning thanks to the heroic efforts of dozens of people. U.S. Airways Flight 1549 was forced to make an emergency landing in the Hudson River yesterday afternoon, shortly after takeoff from LaGuardia Airport. The plane lost both of its engines. Air traffic controllers say the pilot reported a double bird strike just before the pilot set the plane down in the river. Now, that seems likely from what passengers saw.
About 3 or 4 minutes into the flight, I was sitting in 22A, so the left engine just blew. Fire, flames coming out of it, and I was looking right at it because I was sitting right there.
Now, the pilot, Chesley Sullenberger, was able to navigate the plane safely into the water. Passengers escaped onto rafts. Some even stood on the wing until nearby ferries and rescue workers brought them to safety. And police and fire officials, as well as the Office of Emergency Management and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, are keeping an eye on the plane round the clock. Mayor Bloomberg visited Battery Park City last night to get a close-up look at this Airbus A320. It almost looks like a surreal picture. Now, this plane is tethered to the pier. It's not a boat, it's a plane tethered to the pier. The plane was on its way to Charlotte, North Carolina when it crashed. Charlotte Mayor Pat McCrory called Mayor Bloomberg to thank him for the efforts here in the city.
He called to say thank you very much for treating all the people who are going to Charlotte or live in Charlotte. Every report the governor got, they were just over the top with the kind of hospitality that we showed. I pointed out this is not normally the way people arrive in New York City.
Governor Patterson called the rescue a potential tragedy that may have become one of the most magnificent days in the history of New York City agencies. And the National Transportation Safety Board investigators are on the scene right now. What's the process they must go through?
Joining us now is Al Yerman. He is a former investigator with the NTSB. He is also a former military pilot. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I've never heard of anything like this. First of all, I've never heard of a double bird strike where both engines are lost, and I have never heard of a splash landing where the plane did not crumble on impact. Have you?
Never.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
What normally would happen when a plane hits water? It wouldn't just smoothly come to a stop. It starts to tumble.
Well, if it's a controlled landing, as this pilot had done, he did it exactly right, with the nose high and cushioning onto the water. If it's a uncontrolled type of landing where the airplane is out of control, water starts seeping in and starts ripping apart metal, and this was an amazing feat by the pilot.
It sure was. Now, tell me what the NTSB does now.
Well, first they'll have their organization meeting this morning and gather their groups together. They came with an investigator in charge and several group chairmen. They'll break down into power plants and systems and air traffic control and manufacturers from the airplane and the engine manufacturer. And they'll be assigned their teams and they'll start their specific work.
Al, two aspects of this that make it very unusual. The dual airstrike. You'll see the engines on the Airbus are separated probably by about 20 or 30 feet. I've heard of airstrikes that happen for one engine, but this had to be a tremendous flock of Canada geese, correct?
I would imagine there's a lot of them, yes.
Because that dispersion would, make a dual bird strike very unusual.
There's a lot of feet between those two engines, yes.
Also, when he was coming in for a landing, let's say this black on my desk is the water. The tendency is for the aircraft to be ever so, again, this is the water, this is the plane, he's coming in, for one portion to catch before the other, and then for the aircraft to tumble, or to perhaps even break apart if there's even the slightest bit of turbulence. For that airplane to land and come to a stop with its structural integrity intact is, I believe, unheard of.
It is. You're correct. It's unheard of. And everything just had to go just right, where the tail of the aircraft hitting first and then coming down. If at any time the nose went in first, you'd have a tumbling.
We have that video prepared, I believe, of the crash landing off of the coast of Africa when a ditching was performed. This is Manchester when they lost one. Do we have the aircraft actually impacting the water? Okay, we'll be working on that. But what happens is it tumbles. And Al, this is not something you train for. It's one page in the manual. Put the airplane in this configuration, perform a landing. They never practice this.
That's correct. It's a procedure that, like you said, you review it, and when it comes up, you do everything right, and you get the results of
Al, let's
what you
get
have
back
there.
to the Canada geese, okay? Because this is really not the first time something like this. I mean, this is pretty dramatic and pretty extreme, but this is not the first time that we've had plane problems with Canada geese at LaGuardia, at Kennedy, at airports all over the country. What is it? 90,000 incidents in the last couple of years?
Oh, there's quite a lot.
Okay,
yes.
so I know conservationists are going to get a little angry, but when do we take action so this doesn't happen again? Are people more important than birds?
Well,
this is what I want to know.
Okay, all right.
Okay?
I mean, go ahead.
Well, action has been taken already.
It's not enough.
Well, it's not enough because you can't control nature that well.
Let's just, I mean, we can't get rid of all birds. The
Right.
chances of this happening are perhaps 1 in 10 billion, correct?
90,000 incidents in the last few years.
These are small incidents. The airplane, you don't even realize it as a passenger. A minor impact. I mean, again, we can't get rid of all birds, Rosanna. Even if we wanted to, we couldn't.
I understand that, but at least around the airports, we need a controlled
Well,
environment.
Al, there are programs. There are. We even have people with shotguns, I believe, at Kennedy Airport on duty right now.
And dogs. They have dogs trained to chase away the birds. They have lighting systems to scare the birds, sound.
And this did not happen over the airport. This happened about 4,000 feet over the Bronx.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you coming here.
Thank you.
All right, time now. Let's check on the weather. 7:40. It is cold outside. Mike Woods.
Yep, another cold day coming our way. We got clear skies, 11 degrees out at Central Park. Our temps are in the single digits and low teens. But of course, with the wind, it feels even colder, so you've got to bundle it up. Hats, scarves, gloves. Keep in mind that most of the heat from your body escapes from your head. So even though you may not look cute, put on the hat. It'll do you some good. Take a look at your extended forecast. Taking you through the next 7 days. Sunshine today, a high of 17. 22 for you tomorrow with more clouds coming in. And then the snow hits us again on Sunday morning, lasting through the day. About 2 to 5 inches of snow coming into town. Greg?
Exactly. Okay, thank you so much.
Coming up on Good Day New York. You know,
we're still arguing about the birds. It's okay. We'll get over it.
And, you know, in a way, it's a perfect thing. We can kind of laugh. I mean, when's the last time you've been able to laugh after a plane crash?
I know.
Everybody
You're right.
lived. And
You're
that's,
right. It's
that's
a
the
beautiful
wonderful
day.
thing.
Okay.
We're continuing to following the splash landing of Flight 1549. The investigation is underway. Lots of theories about there and lots of suggestions about what went wrong. But you know what? We may not know for about a year exactly what happened.
I don't know if I could wait that long. All right, we've got more dramatic home video of the plane to show you. Good Day New York is coming right back.
I want to feel things, really feel them.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
When I first met you, there was nothing in the world you couldn't do.
Kate Winslet. In 2 of the best performances in one of the best films of the year, Revolutionary Road, rated R.
Mommy, look! You're twins!
This is your wake-up call. Those holiday treats finally caught up with you. This year, take the Special K Challenge and lose up to 6 pounds in 2 weeks. With more options than ever, taking the Special K Challenge has never been yummier. Lose up to 6 pounds in 2 weeks. Go to Yahoo and search Special K to design your plan today.
When your transmission has a problem, you have a problem. Don't take chances. Take it to AMCO. We'll diagnose it right, fix it for less, we can even back it for life. And that's the AA promise. Call AMCO. AA MCO.
Furniture is what helps define your style in your home. Raymore and Flanagan offers brands like Bernhardt's, Cindy Crawford, Natuzzi, and Bell & S. Styles to reflect your taste.
I may not be a design pro, but they sure made me feel like one.
No money down, no payments for 12 months, plus no interest till 2012. This sale is going on now at Raymore and Flanagan, where saving you money never goes out of style.
The New Jersey Lottery's Jersey Jackpot Raffle is here. And with millions of dollars up for grabs, everybody's getting in on it. There's hundreds of prizes, including the best odds ever to win $2 million. Tickets are limited and going fast. So hurry and grab yours today, because once they run out, you're out of luck. Don't miss your chance to become a millionaire. Play the Jersey Jackpot Raffle from the New Jersey Lottery. Give your dreams a chance.
I can't do this myself.
I am the guy to break the law for you.
One of our own has been abducted.
I want to know what they wanted from you.
Who cares about me?
I care about you.
You need to kill her right now.
Fringe. Viewer discretion advised.
It's all rather tense, isn't it? Tuesday at 9 on Fox 5.
Look at this amazing video. This video, do you know who this video was shot by?
Julie Chang's brother-in-law, apparently, our entertainment correspondent.
Yes.
Well, you know what? They weren't so excited, but I called them as soon as this happened and told them, I said, I know it's cold out, but you must go out and shoot this video for me. And if you look, there's a pan right here. You can almost reach over the rail and touch the tail. So right now, I think they've repositioned the plane so, you know, people walking past can't touch the tail. So the nose of the plane is now facing that fence. And he said that he got there before any photographers were there. He got there even before the cops were there.
What time was this?
This was before 5, I believe, 5 p.m. And, you know, the residents in that area started crowding that area. And the police officer said, you know, have you ever heard of jet fuel? Oh, and then they could smell a faint, you know, they could smell fuel. So
Julie, did your brother-in-law say that he saw any of the bags flying around? Because the first thing my son says, I'm glad everybody got out safely, but what happens to their bags?
The luggage. It's probably still in the plane.
I think it is all on the plane. But yeah, so as soon as people heard the jet fuel thing, they said, all right, I'm out. So I appreciate Ben, my brother-in-law Ben, who took that video. Good work.
Meanwhile, life continues. You can escape the cold this weekend by taking in a movie.
Okay, that sounds good. I mean, you know, sometimes real life is stranger than what we see on the big screen.
Isn't that right? I can't believe it. All right, I met up with, you know, Kevin James, everyone's favorite guy. You know him from the hit show The King of Queens. Now actor Kevin James is everyone's favorite mall cop. The Long Island native plays double duty in his new movie, Paul Blart, Mall Cop. He wrote and starred in the comedy. James plays a New Jersey state trooper wannabe who ends up settling for a mall security position. Now, when a bunch of hooligans break into the mall, taking hostages in efforts to pull off a heist, Paul Blart becomes his own SWAT team. Now, his partner in defense, his handy Segway. Kevin stopped by Good Day recently. Take a listen. Like Tony Hawk to a skateboard, you are to the Segway.
Did you see me on that thing? By the way, very scary.
Who are you? I mean, you were going backwards, doing spinsters.
Yeah, you have to. They're unbelievable to maneuver on, too. You can get around quick. They look a little funny, I got to be honest. You look a little funny on those.
You're like their unofficial spokesperson. You should get paid by the Segway people.
Without a doubt. I know that. But yeah, you can whip around with that, and that's what I do in this thing.
So many more funny moments with the affable star, including how he's almost like a 16-year-old gymnast from China.
Really?
Yeah, for that and theater locations, meet us online, myfoxny.com, and click on the Good Day tab.
Thanks so much, Julie.
You're welcome, guys.
All right, where are we going next? Kai Simonson, is he in the helicopter? Barry? No, we'll take a quick commercial break and be right back with more about this incredible story on the Hudson River.
We're coming right back.
Key West 6 don't get down.
Key West, because you only have one life to live.
At 1-800-DENTIST, we operate with one simple premise. If you love your dentist, you'll go consistently. And that means you'll look better, be healthier, and in the long run save money by avoiding expensive dental work that can be caused by neglect. That's why we work so hard screening our dentist. And we have a live 24-hour call center and a detailed website to help you find that perfect dentist. So why not call or log on today? 1-800-DENTIST. Seriously, it's time.
Where do you think you're going?
Getting back into a smart routine with the under 300-calorie egg white flatbreads from Dunkin' Donuts. You can do it. America runs on Dunkin'.
Get an egg white flatbread for only $1.99 when you buy a medium hot coffee.
Kelly and Regis for the new TD Bank.
We're here with Abe Lincoln, who shall we say is a little peeved.
When I agreed to be on the penny, I was thrilled. But now, it's hardly worth anything. And if there's one on the sidewalk, no one even bothers to pick it up.
TD Bank loves pennies. They'll count them and convert them to dollars for free.
Dollars. Yes, it always comes back to George, doesn't it?
Commerce Bank and TD Bank North are now TD Bank. And at TD Bank, we'll count your coins for free. TD Bank, America's most convenient bank.
Direct from the 2008 Beijing Olympics comes a theatrical event unparalleled on Broadway. Soul of Shaolin. Soul of Shaolin is a spectacular new show that will dazzle and delight your whole family. Soul of Shaolin. See it at the Marquee Theater. Limited engagement now through January 31st only. Visit Ticketmaster.com for tickets today.
A new administration and a new Congress. What new change will the Dems bring? Nancy Pelosi and Robert Gibbs lay out their plans.
Fox News Sunday.
Welcome back to Good Day New York. You know, we see a lot of crazy things on the streets of New York, but this is a sight I never thought I would see. A plane tethered to the pier, the Hudson River.
That is the wing of the plane just jutting out of the water. It is incredible. There it is. Hey, I wonder if they'll be able to use that plane again. Really, it looks intact. And you know the cool thing, well, the cool thing is...
I hope they don't use it again.
You never know. They might be able to make it better than it was before. Everybody survived, of course, and I was able to go out and buy a toy airplane, and I'm going to expense it. It's a beautiful plane,
too,
by the way.
You were ordered to, so yeah, this was good. This worked out nicely. You did some nice demonstrations with that.
Thank you so much.
Well, it feels like Siberia more than New York these days, Mike. What's going on?
Yeah, believe it or not, it's colder here now than it is in Billings, Montana. It's more like the mid to upper 30s there. I wish we were there, really. Really, is what we have right now 11 degrees? Yes, it is. 11 degrees out at Central Park, despite the fact we have sunshine. Winds coming out of the west-northwest at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Most of us are sitting in the single digits and the low teens. It's even colder to the northwest. They do have wind chill advisories up in Sullivan County and Ulster County all the way through Saturday morning. But everyone else, it feels like we're about 0 to 5 below across the core of the tri-state. And it looks like it's going to be a cold day out there with a lot of sunshine, and your high temperature is going up to about 17 degrees today. There's your clouds coming back tomorrow, and the snow, it's going to be here by Sunday morning, about 2 to 5 inches coming in. Greg?
Thank you much, Mike. Thanks a lot. There's a lot to come on Good Day New York.
We have complete team coverage of the miracle on the Hudson. From the investigation to the rescues, we've got you covered. Good Day New York is coming right back. Stay with us.
Every Folgers Mountain Grown bean is evenly roasted, so you'll wake up to more rich, pure taste.
TV's digital transition is February 18th.
If you use an antenna or rabbit ears,
and you have an HD TV or one of the new converter boxes for your old set,
hook them up now to make sure you receive Fox 5's digital channel 5.1.
After you complete your first channel scan, you may be missing some of your favorite stations.
If so, you may need to reposition your antenna and scan again.
If you have a problem, log on to myfoxny.com
or call 1-888-DTV-2009.
I try to set everything I do in what I would like to have in my life, how I would like to be treated when I go someplace. We try to set all our appointments on the customer's schedule. I would rather wait an hour and have everything I need. Just give me a telephone, let me have an internet service, let me have something to eat. I can do what I need to do in the service center. We have a logo in our service departments, and it's just meant for the people that work for us. When you think something's more important than a customer, think again.
I worried what would happen if I didn't start taking care of my heart, but I wasn't ready to give up taste. Sometimes sacrifice is the name of the game.
Well, I've heard eating whole grain oats can help lower my cholesterol. It's going to be a challenge.
Well, sure, we want to lower our cholesterol and live healthier lives. But let's be real. Being healthy is tough.
Yeah. Honey Nut Cheerio cereal tastes great and can help lower cholesterol.
I guess I can do this.
Be happy, be healthy.
Want beautiful floors like this for less?
or quality name brand carpet that's more affordable?
Well, with Empire Today, you can get the lowest price guaranteed. We won't be undersold. Plus, you get shop-at-home convenience, next-day installation, and no payments till 2010. Why go anywhere else? Get the most for your money and the lowest price guaranteed. Call Empire today.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
This is the one place we can be free.
When the world faced an unspeakable evil, one man led thousands to freedom.
Our revenge is to live.
Defiance. Rated R. Now playing everywhere.
More and more witnesses are coming forward as we look live at Flight 1549, an Airbus 320 submerged right off the pier in Battery Park. That's where they usually keep yachts, Rosanna.
I know. Right now, we're joined by the president of the Intrepid Museum, Bill White. You were there when it happened. What did you see?
I've never seen anything like that. Our security personnel across our radio system said a plane has gone down at 48th Street, you know, kind of all stations, emergency battle stations. And we ran up to the flight deck. We called the New York City Police Department, opened up the Intrepid as a command post. We had several officers coming down to the end of the pier. And what I saw when I went up to the flight deck was unbelievable. It was so surreal. These people standing on the port side wing, you know, the left side of the aircraft, those forward deployed rafts, you know, which are the slides filled with dozens of people. And I did not hear, you know, screaming and yelling. I did not see anyone in the water. Your instinct when you're standing on this plane is to jump in the water and swim to a boat. And nobody did that. So this crew that must have given them instructions to wait, because going in that water, I think you could have had a tremendous amount of fatalities. The ferry boat system, they were there on site in 2 seconds.
They were terrific, weren't they? Kudos to them.
Watching this guy, Vince Lombardi, who was the captain of one of the first, his name is
That's
Vince.
his name?
Name is Vince Lombardi. Talk about a block of granite, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I haven't been a Fordham alumni, right? So this is amazing to watch this. These people are coming off. And you know, we had 22 Bank of America people. I say we because the Bank of America is the Intrepid's biggest sponsor. And so we were so concerned for these families. We got a call from their security people.
Well, again, just to reiterate for our viewers, there were about 22, 23 Bank of America employees on board on their way back to Charlotte, which is where their world headquarters is.
Yeah, that's right. And their head of security called us and said, listen, can we bring our folks over to the Intrepid? Because, you know, you got warmth there, you got a food service place there, we can maybe have them call their families. And of course we did that, but by the time they got all these people off, you know, the mighty Hudson had taken that plane almost 40 blocks in 20 minutes.
Wow.
And I think if you look at this kind of strategically, if those boats had kind of stopped the plane from moving, the mighty Hudson River would have gotten into that plane and the plane would have sunk. So these guys from the emergency services, the fire, police, I mean, they all deserve a hero's welcome. We want to honor that captain who was an Air Force pilot on the Intrepid. I'm sure the president and the mayor and the governor will get to him before we do, but we want to have him there because, you know, 20 yards, he could have hit the Intrepid.
Yeah.
He could have hit the Jersey Shore.
And that would have been, gosh, last time it was hit was by a kamikaze.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Bill White, president of the Intrepid Museum, and by the way, we should point out, under consideration right now, according to press reports, we're not going to put you on the spot, for Secretary of the Navy, being seriously considered for that post. We think you'd be great.
Oh, well, thank you, Greg. It's an honor to serve our men and women in uniform and their families. And as I say, I have the greatest job for me on the planet. And I want to thank you all. Thank you for your service, Greg, Semper Fidelis. And if we can continue to serve, it would be a great honor. But I want to say I have the greatest job on the planet working for the Intrepid.
Okay.
And you've been doing it for how long now?
18 and a half years.
18 and a half years. All right, Bill White.
Thank you,
Good
Roseanne.
luck.
Great to see you.
Same here.
Always a pleasure.
Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. God bless you.
And if you're heading out the door, check out Good Day All Day on myfoxny.com. Just click on the Good Day tab.
Here's what's coming up. At 8:05, we're going to speak with a commercial pilot about water landings, just how difficult they are.
At 8:15, a senior producer from Inside Edition shows you the amazing video his crew caught on tape.
At 8:30, more eyewitness accounts. It's become a phenomenon, capturing home videos that capture this. You know, when something like this happens, you just don't rely on news crews, you rely on everybody with a cell phone.
That's right. All this coming up on Good Day and all day on myfoxny.com. Just click on the Good Day tab. We're coming right back.
The country of Chile, where our vast natural resources permit us to grow wholesome, fresh fruit and vegetables. wine, seafood, olive oil, dairy, meat products, and more. From these blessings of nature, we select an abundance of fresh fruit for you. Because right now, it's summer in Chile. Experience the flavors of our harvest, the pride of our country. Fresh fruit from Chile. In season right now at these fine stores.
I know you've been seeing him. Everyone knows who you are.
I have to go away.
What have you gone and done? This whole thing could come crashing down on us.
I'm the prophet of universe great.
Let's just get it out in the open.
Wait!
Years of sun damage? Reverse the signs.
Skin Renew Anti-Sun Damage helps reverse fine lines, discolorations, and even signs of damage just below the surface for brighter, more even tone. Skin Renew Anti-Sun Damage.
Garnier. Mission: the luscious Colossal Lashes. New Colossal Mascara from Maybelline, New York. The huge news: our collagen formula and Colossal Brush for 9 times more gorgeous volume. New Colossal with collagen.
Our son couldn't possibly have done this.
He had motive, means, and he resisted arrest.
We'll need the crime scene photos in the autopsy report.
Body language tells the truth.
Can't show these photographs to anyone.
But I didn't kill her.
He can see a lie in the blink of an eye.
I know when you lie.
Lie to me.
Series premiere Wednesday at 9 on Fox 5.
From Fox 5 News, this is Good Day New York.
We are so happy you are joining us this morning. I'm Rosanna Scott of Good Day New York. It's Friday, January 16th.
I'm Greg Kelly. Thank you very much for joining us.
Here's a look at what's coming up this hour. Our National Transportation Safety Board team is on the scene as the U.S. Airways plane sits in the water in Battery Park City.
It felt severe, definitely. I think we hit the ceiling and jostled around a lot. Didn't last very long, but it seemed to last a long time, even though it was only a few seconds. And then we're just amazed that the plane was intact. We just all made our way to the exit doors. They were open, and people were certainly hurrying to get out, but it wasn't a mass.
Fred Beretta, passenger survivor. He is on his way home to his friends and family in Charlotte, North Carolina. We'll have more of his story coming up.
And we're going to break down the situation to try and see just what happened with Flight 1549.
All right, we've got dramatic home video of the plane in the water and the rescue efforts. We're all over the story, which is an amazing story. I thought I was dreaming a little bit. No, that can't be right, you know?
I said the same thing. It can't be right. But you know what? Anything can happen in New York or New Jersey or Connecticut. Our area
I suppose so.
is famous for miracles.
It's special, but that plane not breaking up.
It's true. It could have done a cartwheel in the water, right?
We'll talk with the commercial pilot in a little bit, and this is very rare what happened yesterday. I've never heard of it happening, and a double bird strike, also incredibly rare. Anyway, we are so happy that those folks are alive. It turned out great.
It did. Now, the other big story, the weather. If you go outside, please bundle up because it is frigid outside, right, Mike?
It is very cold outside. The coldest stuff that we've seen in the last couple of years here, Greg and Rosanna. And it looks like it will recover, but it's going to take some time. And then we have another storm on the way for us for the second half of the weekend. But right now, you've got cold temperatures sitting in the single digits and the teens. Right now, out at LaGuardia, we've got 10 degrees there, 9 for you, an ice slip. And then you factor in the winds. This is what it feels like outside because it is a little bit breezy. Feels like 2 below an ice slip. Feels like 4 below out at LaGuardia and 14 below in Monticello, with again mainly clear skies. We did see a little bit of snow earlier this morning out around the Twin Forks. Looks like that has now moved on. So we're going to see a lot of sunshine out there. High temperatures only making it up to around 17 degrees this afternoon, but no worry about additional snow through the day here today. Tomorrow you've got more clouds coming in, high of 22, and then the storm comes in. Another Clipper system, and this one with some light snow out there. High temperature of 34 for you on Sunday. This is going to be pretty much all snow. It starts up in the morning, say around 9 o'clock, and continues through the day, even into Monday morning, and then it starts to wind down. Monday's high temperature, 30 degrees, and then we are going back to sunshine for you on Tuesday with a high temperature of 29. But all the way through, we're pretty much locked up into this deep freeze. Just barely trying to come out of it on Sunday, but even so, that won't last for long. More in your forecast is coming up in a bit. Ro?
Okay, thank you so much, Mike. We continue to follow the incredible stories of U.S. Airways Flight 1549. 1549.
All right, this is a live picture of a commercial airliner lying in the Hudson River, flight 1549. There it is, an Airbus 320, tethered where boats are normally. We are, the NTSB, keeping that plane in one place. It won't be there forever, but right now investigators are already having at that plane.
And you know what the pilot used on that plane? A ditch switch. Are you familiar with that?
A ditch switch?
Yeah.
No, I'm not actually.
Okay, well, we have a pilot coming on in a second, but there's many angles to follow on. Well, we're going to get to that because I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that is.
Much more to come on this amazing story.
That's right. First, let's get the latest from the where the wreckage is right now. Fox 5's Linda Schmidt is in Battery Park City. Linda, the crane is out. Are they pulling up the plane yet?
Well, they haven't actually started using the crane, Rosanna. Take a look here behind me. This is a massive crane that was brought down here this morning, and what that's actually going to end up doing is actually pulling the plane out of the water so they can get it to a hangar so that investigators can go over, as you can imagine here, over every inch of that plane. In the meantime, NTSB investigators arrived on the scene just a little while ago.
There's been a lot of speculation as to the cause of this accident already. However, the NTSB investigation is just beginning. We'll be looking into all aspects of the accident, including airplane structures, systems, power plants, flight crew operations, survival factors, air traffic control, and airplane performance.
The U.S. Airways Airbus A320 had just taken off from LaGuardia Airport for Charlotte, North Carolina. The FAA says a flock of birds knocked out both of the plane's engines, causing electrical fires.
About 3 or 4 minutes into the flight, I was sitting in 22A, so the left engine just blew. Fire, flames coming out of it, and I was looking right at it because I was sitting right there.
Now the pilot guided the plane down in a textbook water landing in the Hudson River just off of West 48th Street and 12th Avenue. While the plane was floating, the pilot and his 4-person flight crew got all 150 passengers off the wreckage alive, although there were some injuries.
People were bleeding all over there, man. The place where I got off, some lady's leg got cut up.
As soon as my guys heard the plane, 4 boats were on site immediately. My office dispatched as many boats as we had at that time.
All right, we're back here now live in Battery Park City, and what you're looking at right now live is part of the wing sticking out from the plane. It is still in the water. Part of the plane is submerged in the water. The other half is on top of the water. And again, the crane that is on the scene here right now is eventually going to be picking that plane up and getting it out to a hangar. For now, that's the very latest from here. Back to you guys in the studio.
Okay, thank you, Linda. Well, his name is Chesley Sullenberger, and he's being called a hero this morning. His safe landing of Flight 1549 is being credited with saving everybody on board. He has been a pilot for more than 40 years. Shortly after taking off from LaGuardia Airport, air controllers say he reported a double bird hit, meaning that both engines on his A320 Airbus were blown out, possibly from hitting a flock of geese. Both Mayor Bloomberg and Governor Patterson praised his quick thinking for saving everybody's life.
The pilot did a masterful job of landing the plane in the river and then making sure that everybody got out.
We've had a miracle in the Hudson. This was potentially a very tragic incident. This pilot somehow, without any engines, was able to land this plane.
Chelsea Sullenberger is expected to be debriefed by the NTSB officials later today.
Well, pilots practice emergency landings often, or at least the drills, but landing on the water, you cannot practice that. It is impossible. You can only do it once, and when it's done, it normally is not successful. Experience
is the only teacher where those are concerned. Joining us this morning is a commercial pilot, John Lucich.
Lucich,
who's logged more than 3,000 miles. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
3,000 hours, I believe, in the cockpit.
I'm sorry, 3,000 hours.
Have you ever heard of anything like this? Number one, a dual bird strike where 2 engines are lost, and a successful water landing where the plane doesn't break apart.
Well, you see this time and time again, but as far as bird strikes go, they're very, very small in the amount of how many flights are actually taken.
They happen all the time, but I'm talking about a bird strike that causes 2 engines to go out.
No, absolutely
I've never
not.
heard of that happen.
Absolutely not. You've seen bird strikes before, and sometimes it can crash and bring a whole airplane down. But never have I seen this where it actually took out 2 engines. But remember, we're talking about a goose that weighs between 7 pounds and 20 pounds. This airplane is climbing out at over 220 knots, and when that hits that those turbofans start to break apart. Then they start disintegrating the engine behind them until that engine flames out.
How hard is it to control the plane, especially when you're making basically a crash landing in the water?
Well, it's very difficult because there's a lot of stuff going on. You have full control of the airplane because everything's electronic in the A320A, okay? But there's only one way you're going, and you're going down.
The controllability is not the issue on the way down.
That's correct.
It's once you hit the water. Look at what can happen in a water landing. We have this from Africa. This happened about 10 years ago. If we can roll that tape, pilots attempting to land a plane on the water. Look what happens. It tumbles and it starts to turn, and it's a catastrophic failure.
And it breaks apart.
And it breaks apart. What happened here, however, the pilot was able, let's say the black is the water, was able to smoothly land the airplane. And the challenge is not letting one part of the aircraft hit the water before the next. You want to hit center thrust, center mass, really. Otherwise, it can catch and it can tumble. So it really was an incredible job on this pilot's part.
Absolutely. It's not hitting the water, though. It's setting up before you hit the water. And if you have that set up right, and like you said, you have your wings level, and when you come down, you're actually going to bring it down to about 50 feet to 100 feet above the ground and start pulling that yoke back. And you're going to wait till it settles in, because eventually what you want to do is stall this airplane right onto the water surface. You want to bleed off that extra airspeed so you're going as slow as possible, less impact, less structure, which is why, a big part of why this airplane didn't break apart. Level wings and nice and slow airspeed, executed absolutely right on target.
Huh. Now, I know you've never heard about the ditching switch, but it is unique to this Airbus. Supposedly, it helps keep the plane afloat.
Well, they made a lot of great decisions also. Yeah. You know, they didn't open up the back doors, which would have flooded in the airplane, which caused that to sink down. They kept the main 4 doors over the wings, which are 2 on each side, and they opened the 2 front doors to get out. And if you see, the front of the airplane was floating. They did a great job, everybody.
All right, Mr. Lucich, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here this morning.
I see a commercial pilot joining us, more than 3,000 hours in the plane.
All right, so what was it like for those passengers who were on board as the plane headed toward the Hudson?
Fox 5's Charles Leaf is at a hotel, the Crown Plaza Hotel near LaGuardia Airport, where many of them spent the night, courtesy of the airline, I would think, Charles.
Yeah, Greg and Rosanna, good morning to you. I'll tell you what, if the Hudson is the place for miracles, well, then the Crown Plaza Hotel here in East Elmhurst, Queens is the place for many happy reunions. This is where survivors have been reunited with their family members. They've been staying here at the Crown Plaza Hotel, as you mentioned, since last night, brought in here by police escort, and all kinds of aid and comfort being provided by the Red Cross, the NYPD, the hotel, and others. And we had a chance, I was the only reporter actually, to get to talk to one of these survivors just as he was arriving here at the hotel. How you doing, sir?
Great.
Were you on board the flight? How you feeling,
yes,
sir?
Feeling fine.
How was the experience? Must have been harrowing.
It was terrifying. But if it was anything, it was the best way to have a plane.
Now, do you have family coming in to meet you here? Where are you from?
No, I'm from Charlotte. I'm headed back to Charlotte in the morning.
So, do you have family coming to meet you?
No, not here.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm exhausted.
Sir, if you
What's your name, sir?
Clay Presley.
Clay?
Yeah.
Presley? Thank you, Mr. Presley.
Thank you.
Come on, good morning, America.
Well, we think many of the survivors are actually sleeping off their exhaustion because there has been very little movement here at the hotel all morning long. We've not seen any of these survivors out and about, nor have we seen their families, but there are plenty of police officers. The hotel is crawling with police officers. They have gone to great pains to try to protect these survivors and their families, really secluding them and really restricting the media to have any opportunity to speak with them. Obviously, there is worldwide interest now in hearing from these people, but it's been difficult here. We understand they need some rest. We understand they're rejoicing and counting their blessings this morning. We're just thankful that they're all alive. Rosanna, Greg?
Thank you so much, Charles. Appreciate that report.
All right, Mike Wood standing by. We got some weather to talk about, Mike.
Yeah, cold weather is what we are looking at this morning. Greg and Rosanna, temperatures dropping down into the single digits and teens. Look at all of that around the tri-state. Even that, look at that. 13 below for you, Sussex, New Jersey. That's some cold air with all the Arctic air that came in with the storm yesterday, but the storm has moved on. Wind chill factors, it feels like most of us are in that 0 to about 5 degrees below zero range for starters this morning. So hats, scarves, and gloves are all in line for you today. And yeah, definitely the hats, because that's where most of the heat escapes your body. We do have wind chill advisories for you to the northwest, including the Poconos through Saturday at lunchtime. But now we are getting set for what's coming up next. And today, nice sunny skies, still cold outside, but here come the clouds later tomorrow. As for the snow, it won't be here until sometime on Sunday morning. So through the day today, you're looking good with sunshine, high of 17, 22 Saturday. Snow starts up right around 9 o'clock on Sunday, about 2 to 5 inches before this thing pulls out of here by Monday morning here. Ro?
Thank you so much, Mike. Coming up on Good Day New York, we're going to show you more of some of the first video taken of the U.S. Airways flight in the Hudson River.
Be right back.
Fox Friday's got game with an all-new 5th grader and a pharmacist who becomes our most excited contestant ever.
You're getting your jazzercise all in at one time.
All new 5th grader. Then Penn and Teller work their magic as they go for the million.
That's it. I'm bad. I'm locking in the lyrics.
All new lyrics.
It all starts tonight at 8 on Fox 5.
He's totally gonna call.
If he's not calling you,
Then call him at 15-minute intervals until he picks up.
It's exhausting.
if he's not marrying you,
Stop being nice to me unless you're gonna marry me.
This feels like a trick.
if he's not sleeping with you,
So we're friends.
Yeah. You know, you may be the best friend I've ever had.
then
He is not interested.
Well, don't tiptoe around my feelings.
he's just not that into you.
Get yourself some ribs and some ice cream because you have been dumped.
Rated PG-13.
I can shovel out this driveway.
I can make it to nap time.
I can finish off this paperwork.
I can put together this swing set by sundown.
For over 50 years, Dunkin' Donuts has been making delicious, fresh ground coffee. So to those who keep America running, we say, with a cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee, you can do it. America runs on Dunkin'. Get an egg white flatbread for only $1.99 when you buy a medium hot coffee.
Do you have the HP PhotoSmart C8180?
Yes.
The C7280?
Yep.
The C6380?
Yep.
The C5580?
Yeah.
C4580?
Yes.
The meaning of life?
Yes.
You do.
Do you want it on DVD? Special edition DVD? HD DVD? VHS? Soundtrack?
Furniture is what helps define your style in your home. That's why Raymore and Flanigan offers hundreds of items, from transitional to contemporary to classic. The best brand names on sale through Monday only. No money down, no payments for 12 months, no interest till 2012.
The price was right, and the financing fit my budget.
This sale is going on now at Raymore and Flanigan, where saving you money never goes out of style.
Another live look at that Airbus A320. Where is it? Where they usually keep boats down in Battery Park City.
It really is a sight to see. Investigators are on the scene, and we're keeping an eye on all the activities that are going on there right now.
Well, even on a frigid afternoon, there were a lot of witnesses to the U.S. Airways jet landing on the Hudson.
One of the people that saw it firsthand is Inside Edition senior producer Bob Reed. So nice of you to join us this morning. So, did you hear something funny? What caught your attention?
No, our offices sit out on the 13th floor overlooking the Hudson River. And I was on my computer and I looked up and I saw, it was shocking, a commercial airliner, basically like 200 feet off the water, and it looked like it was landing. It was just coming down, a controlled descent.
Could you hear anything? Was it making noise?
There was, you know, it was off in the river. We have a big window, so I couldn't hear anything, but I didn't see any flames. I didn't see any smoke. And I didn't see any landing gear. And sometimes, you know, there's an event, a military event, and, you know, Memorial Day, planes fly, but not that low, and not a commercial airliner.
So, Bob, you grabbed your camera.
Actually, I jumped up and yelled to our producers, get a camera. Camera crews rushed to the window.
And this is the video that you caught, right? I mean, so go ahead, explain while you're looking.
Well, basically, I saw the plane inches from the water, maybe a foot, and it went behind a building, and I was afraid when it came out from behind that building, it was going to be in pieces, you know, the worst case scenario. But it came out just basically skidding across the water and coming to a, you know, floating down the river. So our producers went into, actually, Deborah Norville's office had a perfect view, and they zoomed in and they saw passengers just piling up on the wings, just amassing on the wings, dozens of people waiting for a few minutes, and it was only a matter of minutes before the ferries, you know, showed up.
You captured the very first ferry ferries arriving at the scene. But the whole scene was moving south, wasn't it? I mean,
it was
the
floating downriver, away from us, actually,
Wow.
you know, as the river flows out, you know, to the harbor.
Mm-hmm. What was your reaction when you saw those people on the wing of the plane?
You know, it was a frigid, cold day, 19 degrees. I thought there would be people in the water. I thought this was going to be a catastrophe. And when I saw them on the plane, and the plane was floating, I assume it's designed to do that, as John mentioned, but it was floating for a long time, and there were all of these people. So I was hopeful. And the other thing that was kind of shocking, maybe by design, maybe by, you know, accident, but that plane sort of came to rest exactly halfway between the ferry terminals that commuters use every day to get back between New York and New Jersey. So those ferries would have been going across or at the terminal and see a plane pull up and realize we got to get there. And they were there in moments, and that saved, you know, between the pilot's efforts and those rescuers and the flight crew. It's incredible.
Just perfect. Again, what your first thought when you saw that plane at 200 feet, an airliner just like this, flying lower than you, or just about, you're on the 13th floor,
Right,
just about
right.
co-altitude with you. Did you think you were dreaming? I heard somebody say they thought they were dreaming for a moment.
No, I mean, the first flash was September 11th, and I discounted that quickly because it just didn't seem like an attack in the river. But then, you know, as a news person, I jumped up and said, we get the cameras. We got, you know, we're seeing, this is not right. This is a problem. And by the time I got around the corner to the other window looking east, you know, we knew this plane was going down.
Bob Reed from Inside Edition, investigative producer. Nice video. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. And tune in today. You'll see a lot more of what our reporters who got to the scene very quickly uncovered.
Terrific.
Give
Thank
our
you.
best to Deborah Norville as well.
Thank you.
All right.
See you later.
Now time for a little weather. Mike Woods, give us an idea of what the temperature. Oh, you have a guest with you.
You said a little weather.
Oh.
So I got a little help. Everybody, this is Griffin Baum. Now, Griffin, tell us how you made it to the Fox 5 Good Day New York show.
Well, I made it this way by winning at the auction last year in school.
Nice. I won the auction, see?
Where does he go to?
Yeah, what school do you go to?
I go to Dwight's.
Oh yeah? So you won the opportunity.
School.
Yeah, to come on the show and you can be a guest weatherman, right?
Yep.
How old are you?
8.
All right, you want to be, well, I'll tell you what, let me give you the tools of the trade. The handy-dandy clicker, sometimes known as a garage door opener. All right, we're going to do this, all right? See, what's this right here? Looks like out at Central Park we got sun.
We got a lot of sun.
Uh-huh, and the temperature, it is?
It's a 10 degrees.
Nice. Okay, now push that green button and watch what happens. We're going to advance to the next. Now we can see the temperatures all around the tri-state. Look at everybody and say, hello, everyone. Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hey. So, it looks like we got a lot of the 10 New York. And
Nice.
9 in Islip.
He's never done this before, but you wouldn't know it, right?
And looks like we got a 13 negative in Sussex.
Oh,
and
yes.
And a 2 negative in Monticello.
All right, now push that green button one more time. This guy is excellent. All right, now these are the wind chill factors. This is what it feels like outside. Show me some numbers.
Okay, it looks like the wind chill in New York is a 4 negative.
Uh-huh.
And we got 1 in Montauk.
Yeah, it feels like 1 degree.
Yep.
Oh, they switched the camera to you real nice and tight. This is the 3D look. Now take a look at the camera, and tell you what, we got a little bit of light snow coming out this way. All right.
Yeah, we got a lot of light snow heading in 7 negative in
Nice.
Bridgeport. And
He's
3
going
negative
crazy.
in
Now watch this. We're going to hold this button, the green button. We're going to go right to the extended forecast and show you what's happening here. Let's back out of the screen,
All right,
Griffin.
here's
This is
your
the big
7-day forecast.
All right, we got a little bit of snow coming in for you on Sunday. About
we got a
2
lot
to
of snow on Sunday. It's going to be an 80% snow showers with a 34 degrees.
Oh, this kid, he is just trying to earn his keep. Griffin, you did a fantastic job. Thank you very much, my friend. Say, back over to you there, Rosanna.
Back over to you there, Rosanna.
All right,
There
good
he
work.
goes.
Mike, watch
Nice
your
job.
All right, thank you. Coming up, more on the emergency landing in the Hudson. We're going to talk to the rescuers who helped passengers get out of the icy waters.
Be right back.
There is still a real Caribbean out there. Out past the crowds and the theme parks. Where green monkeys and flying fish mingle with laughter and sugarcane and breathtaking natural beauty. Barbados.
Book your Barbados getaway today with Travelocity. Go to www.travelocity.com/beach or learn more at visitbarbados.org.
So with Fios, I get the best picture quality, the fastest internet, and a multi-room DVR free for 6 months?
Yes, yes, and yes.
Nice. What about you?
The best of intentions.
When Verizon brings fiber optics straight to your home, you can upgrade your entertainment experience and get an HD multi-room DVR free for 6 months. Record shows in one room, watch them in up to 6 other rooms, even set programming times remotely. Try getting all that from cable. Enjoy the best HD quality, the fastest internet, and crystal clear phone service. Get it all together for just $94.99 a month with a 1-year agreement. Call 1-866-699-FIOS to get FIOS TV, ranked highest in overall customer satisfaction by J.D. Power and Associates. Ridiculously fast internet, plus an HD multi-room DVR free for 6 months. Call 1-866-699-FIOS today for this limited time offer. This is FIOS. This is big.
When it comes to our family's budget, we have to make less feel like more. Didn't know magician was in our job description. Fortunately, for just a little pocket change, we can make a yummy grilled cheese with delicious Kraft singles. And because those singles are made with milk, they not only taste really delicious, they're really wholesome. Not bad considering we're working without a wand. Kraft singles, goodness squared.
Something curious is sweeping America.
Benjamin!
Critics say it's dazzling, magical, classic. A movie that must be experienced. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, rated PG-13, now playing.
Our son couldn't possibly have done this.
He had motive, means, and he resisted arrest.
We'll need the crime scene photos in the autopsy report.
Body language tells the truth.
Can't show these photographs to anyone.
But I didn't kill her.
He can see a lie in the blink of an eye.
I know when you lie.
Lie to me.
Series premiere Wednesday at 9 on Fox 5.
Welcome back to Good Day New York. You are looking at that Airbus just kind of hanging out in the Hudson River, tethered to the pier over there. And NTSB investigators are on the scene. A big crane is there. They're going to be lifting that plane out of the Hudson shortly, I guess.
We hope they don't use it again. I mean, the plane they might be able to dry it out.
I wouldn't want to be in that plane again. I'll just tell you that much.
I don't think they'll advertise that it's that plane. You can
find that out, can't you?
I suppose we can find the future, but believe it or not, that plane might be recyclable. You know?
I don't want to know right now.
Right.
All right, the danger didn't end once that plane hit that water safely. And as you know, a lot of the passengers were in danger of hypothermia.
Yeah, it can sit in very quickly when you're in the water that cold, and it was very cold. We're joined now by Dr. Manny Alvarez, friend of the show, friend of the Fox family. Sir, tell us about hypothermia. Some passengers were in that water. It's very cold, about 40 degrees, I think.
Yeah.
And you can die in water that cold.
You know, hypothermia is one of the most difficult things to treat because you have to slow the treatment down once you make the diagnosis of hypothermia. Once your core body temperature goes below 96 degrees, you know, the whole dynamics of your body begins to change. Blood pressure, respiration, the shivering, everything changes. And when you're looking at waters, you know, between 30 and 40 degrees, you basically have no more than 15 to 30 minutes to
That's
get out.
what I was going to ask you. Because there were 2 people at least in the water that we know of that were in the water.
If you have the temperature between 30 and 40, you have between 15 and 30 minutes to really get out of the water. Otherwise, you really get into deep hypothermia because, believe it or not, you could take your shirt off in an outside temperature. You could be 10 degrees outside. It'll take a while for your body to cool down. But in water, your body cools down extremely fast. When you're looking at waters less than 30 degrees, you have less than 15 minutes to really make it out. So the great thing about this great miracle is that all the factors were there, especially that 15 to 30 minute window where all the ferries were able to get those people out of the wetness of the Hudson River and begin to get into the warming process. Now, a lot of folks went to a lot of hospitals, you know, some from, you know, St. Luke's, Roosevelt, everybody went to all the different area hospitals that are surrounding the river, and some folks were treated for, you know, minor, moderate hypothermia, temperatures of 96. They got the warming blankets, maybe a little warm IV, but none of them got to the point that they really needed effective treatment to treat severe hypothermia.
When you're in 40-degree water for even, I don't know, 10 seconds, it would be hell. If you ever taken a cold shower, most people can't stand it. The reports are that the women were lethargic, that they couldn't respond well, that they were even slurring their speech. This comes with hypothermia.
Right. Your mental processes slow down, your metabolism slows down, your blood pressure increases, especially for young kids. Children below the age of 5 and people over the age of 65, hypothermia again is something that is very difficult to treat because they're not able to react that quickly as somebody who's in their 30s and a little bit young and healthy.
Dr. Manny, I know you didn't treat any of these people, but there are reports that they got bumped and bruised in the landing. How do you think they're feeling today? Do you think a lot of aches and pains?
Well, look, the big story item, I think, for this, after we talk about the survival and all the safety factors that work very effectively, is the post-traumatic stress that all of these people are going to get, including some of the people that were involved in the rescue effort. Post-traumatic stress disorder is something that is incredibly common, and it kind of sneaks up on you. One of the things that the airlines are going to do and hospitals are going to do prospectively now is to give these folks a lot of emotional support, because post-traumatic really doesn't go away and you have to be very careful with it.
Dr. Manny Alvarez, you speak the truth. We had Fred Beretta on, a passenger. He seems fine now, and he will be fine ultimately. I was in a plane crash June 29th, 1999. Made it to the hospital, made it out of the hospital, and then I found I couldn't start my car. Just sat there. So sooner or later, they will have a moment when they realize what it is that happened to them, how close they came to dying. So we wish them the very best.
Yes, and hopefully they'll follow through and they'll get the help they need.
All right. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Being here this morning. And it's dangerously cold outside right now. Let's go to Mike Woods.
Yeah, especially in parts of the tri-state area. Most of us, our temperatures are still sitting in the upper single digits to low teens. We've got 10 degrees for you right now out at LaGuardia, 10 degrees for you out at Newark, and 9 degrees for you in Islip. So yeah, it's pretty cold outside, but it feels even colder than that because of the winds. The wind chill factor makes it feel like it's just 2 degrees below zero for you out in Islip, and it feels like 5 below out at Newark. Looks like 15 below is about the average wind chill factor number for you up to the northwest. But at least we've got sun returning to the tri-state, mainly clear skies on the satellite and radar. And we are going to have an okay day coming up for you in terms of the sky coverage. A lot of sunshine out there, but the temperatures, that kind of stinks. We're not getting out of the teens. High temperature today is up to 17 degrees. And taking you through the next 5 days. Tomorrow, well, we've got some changes coming in, slightly warmer with a high of 22 and more clouds too. But the snow showers are coming in as well, but not until Sunday morning, probably around 9 o'clock or so. High of 34 for you on Sunday, and it will be light snow through most of the day on Sunday, which continues into early Monday morning, and then it wraps up. So your Monday morning commute could be pretty sloppy for you, so be ready for that. And as far as accumulations are concerned, I'm thinking somewhere between 2 to 5 inches on average around the tri-state area. It's another clipper system which has a little more moisture to it, so maybe a little more additional snow. Greg?
Thank you very much, Mike. It was truly a miracle on the Hudson River.
155 people are safe this morning, thanks to the heroic efforts of dozens of people. U.S. Airways Flight 1549 was forced to make an emergency landing in the Hudson River yesterday afternoon, shortly after takeoff from LaGuardia Airport. The plane lost both of its engines. Air traffic controllers say the pilot reported a double bird strike just before the pilot set the plane down in the river. That seems likely from what passengers saw.
About 3 or 4 minutes into the flight, I was sitting in 22A, so the left engine just blew. Fire, flames coming out of it, and I was looking right at it because I was sitting right there.
The pilot, Chelsea Sullenberger. He's 57 years old. He was able to navigate the plane safely into the water. Passengers escaped onto the rafts. Some even stood on the wing until nearby ferries and rescue workers brought them to safety. And just a few minutes ago, we spoke with one of the passengers aboard Flight 1549.
Fred Beretta was one of the 23 Bank of America employees on the plane. He described the last moments as the plane impacted the water.
It felt severe, definitely. I think we hit the ceiling, jostled around a lot. Didn't last very long, but it seemed to last a long time, even though it was only a few seconds. Mm-hmm. And then we're just amazed that the plane was intact. We just all made our way to the exit doors. They were open, and people were certainly hurrying to get out, but it wasn't a mass panic, as I recall at all. Certainly there was emotion and intensity, and we were just getting out in order, and people were waiting for those in front of them to move ahead, and of course, you know.
Well, it was an incredible scene, and he summarized it for us very well. We saw some ordinary citizens leap into action, doing anything and everything to help with the rescue of passengers from the plane. We also had emergency workers, of course, too.
That's right. Fox 5's Catherine Craig is in Weehawken right now with that part of the story. Catherine, fill us in.
And you know what? We talked with Arthur Imperator. He's the owner of New York Waterway just a little while ago, and he got choked up. He said he was so proud of his workers, the waterway workers, the captain that you talked with, Vince Lombardi, one of the first people on the scene there to rescue these passengers. This is one of the areas where the passengers were taken. They were given food, they were given coffee, and all of them brought safely to shore.
New York Waterway workers saw the plane crash land in the water, and they raced their ferry to the rescue. Within minutes, the plane was surrounded by boats and heroic rescuers.
I was in shock. I mean, you see a plane coming down, hitting the water. You don't see that around here, so.
We got the light up down. We started getting people off. I saw 2 babies. I'm telling the lady, let me get the baby. She didn't want to get rid of the baby. So the other boat came and rescued the other side.
They were on the raft on the wing, and there were a few people in the water.
And then there are Mike Delaney and Robert Rodriguez of the NYPD scuba team. They dropped from a chopper into the water and found one woman in a panic.
She was very frantic at the time. I just told her to relax. I asked her what her name was. She said, please don't let me go. She thought that the boat was going to run over us at the time.
Rescuers fought freezing winds and a rising tide. As water flooded the plane, they got everyone out.
We went into the plane. We did a quick search. We saw that there was nobody else in the plane. And at that point, the headrests in the back of the aircraft were already going underwater.
The drivers for these boats and their crews that assisted, they were awesome. We can't say how appreciative we are of what they've done and how they've assisted us.
And you're looking at a live picture of the ferry terminal in Weehawken. A lot of the regular passengers that come here Monday through Friday, we've been talking with them, and they say that they just are so impressed by the heroic efforts of the waterway workers, also the Circle Line tour people, the NYPD divers, FDNY, and Coast Guard. There was a waterway worker who said, yeah, they train for man overboard situations, but nothing like that what happened yesterday. But yeah, everything turned out all right. Reporting live from Weehawken, Catherine Craig, Fox 5 News. Back to you, Greg and Rosanna.
Catherine, thank you. Well, quick-thinking eyewitnesses turned their cell phones and their video cameras on yesterday to capture images of yesterday's amazing scene.
Fox 5's Brett Larson is here with one of our viewers who shared her video with us. Brett.
Hey, good morning, Greg and Rosanna. Yes, it's true. Technology has really allowed us to not only be the journalists on the streets catching everything, it's allowed ordinary citizens to capture the moment and then share it with us, and we in turn get to share it with you. Joanna Park, thank you. I met you yesterday evening. Yes. You were home when it happened, and you kind of saw it go by. Did you know what was going on when you saw what happened?
No, not really. I just happened to be standing at my window, and I noticed a plane that was flying unusually low. I mean, we see lots of air traffic through our vantage point, but this one was extremely low. And I kept an eye on it because I thought this is very unusual that this plane should be flying so low. And I just watched it as it, very sort of evenly and calmly flew, along the river. And then about 10 or 15 blocks away from my building, I saw it actually hit the water.
Right. And in that moment, what were you thinking you were seeing?
I actually didn't know what I was seeing. I thought, maybe this is supposed to be happening. Maybe this is a flotation plane or something like that. Right. And then it obviously was it was a very large plane, and I realized pretty quickly that it was not supposed to be happening. So I just grabbed my video camera and I kind of started watching what was happening. And I really, I didn't see smoke. I didn't see any flames. The plane was really very steady as it was sitting in the water. But my first thought was, oh my God, is this plane going to sink? Because that's my first instinct, and so I just kept my video camera on it and watched the first ferry boat pull up to the plane, and then I think saw some people starting to get out of the plane.
Right, and I guess was it at that point you figured, gosh, are people okay, or?
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea what, it seemed like it was quite a strong impact when it hit the water, and knowing how cold the water was. I really thought, you know, we could have some serious problem here. Right. So, you know, it was pretty scary watching it all unfold.
And miraculously, you got the video, you got the first ferry pulling up to that, so you kind of witnessed a little piece of history last night. We appreciate you sharing that with us and coming by this morning again. It's nice to see you again as well. And we're going to actually put the full video up on our website at myfoxny.com. And while you're there, if you've got photos of yesterday's event, please feel free to send them over to us, and we will share those throughout the show today. Greg, Rosanna, back to you.
Brett, thank you. We have even more great pictures and video from that emergency landing. You can log on to myfoxny.com for the exclusive material.
And we'll also have live coverage of Mayor Bloomberg's news conference coming up in about 45 minutes. We'll be right back.
Good Day, brought to you by Best Buy.
From the very first moment we arrive, we're on the move. And we don't want anything, ever, to slow us down. So it's surprising that 80% of women aren't getting enough calcium. But thankfully, with over 25 great flavors like strawberry cheesecake and blackberry harvest, Yoplait gives you 20% of your daily calcium and vitamin D in every cup. Yoplait, it is so good.
I'm telling you, you kids have it easy.
We had to get our internet from a phone company. And the phone from a phone company, too.
I had to walk 5 miles to the video store for the latest releases.
In the snow, uphill.
Remember when your cable, phone, and internet came from 3 different companies? Thanks to Time Warner Cable's Triple Play, those days are history.
Just count yourself lucky.
We got our TV from a dish. And our movies, they came on one of these. My phone bill was crazy. Different amount every month.
Crazy.
Crazy. No, not you.
With the Triple Play, you'll get digital cable in HD with tons of on-demand movies, internet that leaves DSL in the dust, and unlimited calling to the US, Canada, and Puerto Rico, all on one bill for less than $90 a month.
Those days were tough.
Downloading pictures?
An hour.
Or 2.
Buffering.
Buffering.
Call 1-800-646-0456 and get the Triple Play.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Ooh la la! It's ShopRite's Can sale.
Now ShopRite does the can, selling lots of brands on everything in cans. Today it's great to save some cash, so come to ShopRite's Can Bash. From can to can to can to can, you'll save much more on every brand.
5 12-packs of Coke, $11. Gatorade drink, 77 cents, and a 24-pack of Poland Springs, $3.88.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Slumdog Millionaire wins 4 Golden Globe Awards. Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Score, and Best Picture of the Year.
Imagine all the girls.
Critics everywhere give it 4 stars. But 4 stars simply aren't enough for this masterpiece.
Is the right answer.
Slumdog Millionaire is the Best Picture of the Year. Slumdog Millionaire, rated R. Now playing in select theaters.
There are some bags left on that plane.
There are.
I wonder if the passengers will come back and try to get them.
Well, I think at some point.
They've got to make arrangements.
Yeah. I'm sure that you just can't go there and grab your bag.
And we're not making light of it. I mean, everybody...
There's no carousel today.
Right. And the hotel is courtesy of U.S. Air. Everybody made it out. U.S. Air did a fantastic job, it seems.
A lot to be thankful for this morning.
Absolutely.
Let's get a check on the weather, where it's really, really cold outside. Mike, tell us something to warm the cockles of our heart.
Okay, well, let's see. I'll try to find something. It's not happening right now, that's for sure. Temperatures down in the single digits and low teens. Haven't come up yet, even though the sun is up. We've got 10 degrees out at LaGuardia, 9 degrees for you in Islip. A little breezy outside. Winds are coming at you at around 15 miles per hour, so it makes it feel like we're at 5 below for you, Newark, 8 below out in Allentown, and 16 below in Monticello. So it's cold outside, but I guess the only thing that could possibly warm your heart is seeing some sunshine. Well, that we have for you today. Mainly sunny skies as we go through this Friday, but we still have a wind chill advisory posted for you, Sullivan County, and back in toward the Poconos, Pike County. That wind chill advisory is up until noon tomorrow, and it looks like a nice dry day coming up for you today with a lot of sunshine out there, and then more clouds coming into the area later on tomorrow, but the snow should hold off until sometime later on Sunday. Today's sunshine, high temperature of 17 degrees, and kind of breezy in the morning especially, and then tomorrow you got Partly cloudy skies with a high of 22, 34 for you on Sunday. That's the warmest that we can get it up to, and we're still looking at snow coming in. Probably starting up Sunday morning right around 9 o'clock and continuing right through Monday morning. 2 to 5 inches of snow are expected. Greg and Rosanna?
Thank you so much, Mike.
All right, in today's Good Day Cafe, I'm told that it's like the coldest day in about 2 years, so we're going to make something warm.
It's goulash, and here with the recipe is Kurt Gutenbrunner from Walsee Restaurant. Did I get it right?
You did it.
Okay, well, we need something that's going to stick to our bones today.
Correct.
Okay.
And we are doing a classic Middle European dish, which is goulash. It belongs to the Hungarian, Austrian, Czechs. We never could figure out who is really doing it, right? We need a lot of onions for this, and I use very cheap meat. I use shin meat.
Cheap meat?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in times like this, you don't have to use sirloin all the day.
Okay, good.
So we cut some onions. I prepared something already over there. So you have to sweat the onions for quite some time. Otherwise, you don't get the natural sweetness out of the onions. Don't cut as fast as I do, okay?
I noticed. Watch the fingers.
Don't look away. And
Kurt, you're scaring me.
It's okay.
By the way,
Don't
Kurt,
worry
your
about
restaurant is in the West Village, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And now you have 2 other places as well,
Café
right?
Zabarski, 86 and 5th Avenue, Neue Galerie, New York. We are showing Alfred Kubin right now, and Blaue Gans, Blue Goose in Tribeca.
There you go.
So we're gonna sweat the onions until they have like this color.
I see
Takes slowly 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then we put some paprika in there. Paprika powdered, sweet paprika. This one is from Austria. Winemaker brought this for me. This much.
Is that a secret ingredient because it's from Austria?
No, but there are different kind of paprikas. Don't take the hot one.
Okay.
I take a second paprika in here. And with the paprika, you have to be careful because when you heat it up, it turns bitter. So in order to roast this and keep the red color nicely, we put a little bit tomato paste in there.
Do you need something?
Yep.
Okay.
He's got it all under control.
Okay, you're good.
Susanna, you want to help?
I would love to.
Good.
But you got to be fast.
So we put the tomato paste in there so we can roast the paprika a little longer.
Okay.
And then we put some spices in. I use dry spices because we cook this over a long period of time, so you don't have to use fresh herbs. We put some marjoram in there and bay leaf. Give me one.
Yeah.
Okay. Caraway, put it in there.
Thank you.
Caraway seeds. You know how to cut garlic?
Yeah, of course. I smash mine. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's safer with you anyway.
Beautiful. Austria and Italy coming
Okay, put
together.
a lot of garlic in there.
Would you like to smash
It's a
your
beautiful
garlic?
thing. I'm going to get hurt if I get close. It's all right.
You see what we are doing here? You see this wonderful paste?
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, Kurt, let me ask you something. Do you brown your meat?
No.
Why not?
Because it's not necessary for
Really?
No, it's not necessary. You put the water in there. Don't put
I
stalks in
always
there.
brown my meat when I make my goulash.
No. You don't have to.
All right, so can we put it in?
Yeah, you see? Don't put too much in there, just that the meat is covered.
Okay.
And then you cook it slowly over, let's say, an hour.
An hour.
And an hour later, what do we got, Kurt?
This is what it looks like.
we got.
Okay.
You want to taste it?
We'd love
Please.
to. And you put it
Take a
over
spoon.
what? A little pasta? What is that?
I used Spätzle today, but you can use any
What
kind
is
of.
Spätzle?
Spätzle is like Austrian, German pasta. Try. Yeah,
Right out of the pot?
Right out of the pot. It's a,
Here we go.
Yeah.
Kurt? Is it good?
Awesome. Hot stuff. Be careful.
Okay, Kurt from Walsee Restaurant, we really appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
Fantastic.
Be careful.
And you didn't leave anything out, right? You gave us all the secrets.
All the secrets.
Okay.
Go to my website. That's
We'll have a-
KGNY.
Okay.
And you find the recipe on there too.
But we also have your recipe on our website,
Right.
MikeFoxNY.com. And also, are you good enough for the Good Day Cafe? Send us your recipe. And you could be cooking right here alongside Greg and I. And we don't want you to be a fancy schmancy chef. We want you. Just log on to MyFoxNY.com.
It's okay to be a fancy, smanchy chef, though, Kurt.
Kurt.
All right.
I'm Reggie Register, and I just love saving money, don't you? Reclining sofa for $4.99? Unheard of. Same with the dual reclining love seat for $4.79. Put them together for $7.99, and ka-ching! You save a mind-boggling $179. The $2.99 recliner is only $200 when you buy all 3. Talk about unheard of. 3 pieces with 5 recliners for $9.99. Ka-ching! You save $278. I just love saving money, don't you?
What are you eating?
Multigrain Cheerios.
So, trying to watch your weight?
No, why?
Nothing. It's just the box. It says it's low in fat.
Do I look like I need to watch my weight?
No. It just says it has 110 calories per serving.
Yeah, but there are other reasons why I like it.
I know. It's the box. It just says it's made with 5 whole grains. And that's good, isn't it?
What else does a box say?
Buck says shut up, Steve.
Multigrain Cheerios cereal, because it tastes good.
Direct from the 2008 Beijing Olympics comes a theatrical event unparalleled on Broadway. Soul of Shaolin. Soul of Shaolin is a spectacular new show that will dazzle and delight your whole family. Soul of Shaolin. See it at the Marquee Theater. Limited engagement now through January 31st only. Visit Ticketmaster.com for tickets today.
You didn't pay for the germs. Why pay for the antibiotics? Stop & Shop pharmacies are filling antibiotic prescriptions for free through March 21st, so you can keep your family and your budget healthy. Free antibiotics, another real deal from Stop & Shop. Got winter hat head? Make it up to your hair at Stop & Shop with a real deal on Pantene, now just $5.99. Plus winter real deals on dozens of health and beauty products you use every day. So you can sleep a little easier. Real deals from Stop & Shop.
Business as usual on the Hudson River. You could see the garbage barge going by, a plane that is tethered to the dock or the pier on the Hudson River. Did you ever think you would see something like that, Greg?
Nope, wasn't, didn't see it coming. Did not see that coming.
I don't know, you know, anything can happen in New York, but I didn't think that would happen.
It's basically parked behind my building. I live right there, so a bit of a tourist attraction behind me.
What did you do when you found out last night?
I just got out of the subway. You know what I mean? And somebody called me like, you know, can you believe this? Like, yeah, what? You know what I mean? And
right.
Went up to the television so I could see it firsthand. And then I went up to the scene. I hung around there, tried to get some guests for today. We got the divers.
Yeah,
and then I went to the toy store. Because I wanted to buy one of these things. It is the exact, it's pretty darn close to the Airbus A320. And, you know, how often can you buy a toy like this and expense it to the company?
No, you can't. And I hope you don't have to use it again, if you know what I mean, Greg.
You know, this will just decorate my home or office.
Okay, that's good. Should we turn to other news right now?
Yeah, serious stuff.
People are sent out into the cold after fire tears through a Crown Heights homeless shelter. It started just before 2 this morning. The shelter is on Bedford Avenue near Atlantic Avenue. No one was injured. The Red Cross was on hand to assist the victims. No word on the cause.
To the latest now in the Middle East. Top Israeli diplomats are in Egypt and will then come to the United States in a final push toward a ceasefire in Gaza. The meetings come a day after Israeli forces killed a senior Hamas official and shelled a United Nations compound before dawn this morning. Israeli aircraft continued their air assault, striking about 40 targets throughout Gaza.
President Bush delivered his farewell address last night. The president reflected on his time and the future of the country. He praised President-elect Obama, calling his soon-to-be presidency a moment of hope and pride. He also reflected on September 11th attacks that came just months into his first term.
As the years passed, most Americans were able to return to life much as it had been before 9/11. But I never did. You may not agree with some of the tough decisions I have made, but I hope you can agree that I was willing to make the tough decisions.
President Bush's speech, in his speech, he said he was blessed to represent the nation during his presidency. And make sure you stay tuned to Fox 5. We got special coverage of President-elect Barack Obama's historic inauguration. Hello?
That's true. I am heading down. Wait, what happened to the picture? What happened to that nice picture we set up? It's a beautiful picture of Barack Obama.
We're working on it. We want your face to be bigger than the president-elect's.
No.
I mean, really, you have the job already. He doesn't have the job yet.
Stop that. Brenda Blackman from Channel 9, My 9 as we call it, is going to be there. Also, Shepard Smith from the channel. All the heavyweights, Rosanna.
Really? Well, I'll just stay right here with my peeps and hold down the fort.
Give me a break. Look, you've been to Rome. You've done the
I've
Pope
been to
stuff.
Jordan. I've been
yes,
I've been all over the world, and I'm happy to be here. I'll anchor the fort down in New York, and you make sure things go smoothly in D.C.
Okay, and we'll be talking the entire time.
I can't wait.
All right, Mike Wood, steady by. Hi, Mike.
Hey there, Greg and Rosanna. Yep, we've got a cold day coming at you. In fact, it's here. Sunshine is working, but not too hard. Right now, 10 degrees is where we stand at Central Park. Your temperatures have been coming down steadily. They're probably going to hold tight right there, but it's going to be a cold day nonetheless. I mean, look at these temperatures around the tri-state. It's as cold as 2 below for you, Monticello, 9 below for you in Sussex. That's without the wind. The wind chill factors, most of us, it feels like we're between 0 and 5 below because it is breezy outside. So that's why you got to bundle it up. hats, scarves, gloves. It all makes sense, and you know what? It's definitely not time to take fashion into consideration. Just take care of your body. You don't want that skin to dry up and crack, or especially frostbite. Up to the northwest, that's where we have the wind chill advisories in effect for you. Basically, from now through noon tomorrow, wind chill factors there between 10 and 20 below zero. As for the neighborhood numbers, let's head down into the east end of Long Island. Right now, New Suffolk, you're now back into partly cloudy skies, 9 degrees there. North Sea, you've got sunshine and 16 degrees, and another quiet day coming up for us with high pressure in control. That Arctic air is on top of us, so we'll see high temperatures only in the teens. We haven't seen highs this low in about 2 years. Today, mostly sunny skies, windy and cold with a high temperature of 17 degrees. And then tonight, we drop down to around 5 to 10 degrees, and it will be mostly clear and cold with wind chills down to about 10 below. That's for the city, but up to the northwest, it could be as much as 20 below zero in terms of your wind chill factors. There's the 7-day forecast. Sunny today, more clouds tomorrow. Here comes the snow. It's coming in Sunday morning right around 9 o'clock, about 2 to 5 inches of snow, and then it's done by Monday morning. Greg and Rosanna?
All right, well, bundle up. Thanks so much, Mike.
And check out the goulash on myfoxny.com.
Are you endorsing it?
Second plate, last of the day, but it was great.
Okay, well, stick around. Good Day New York is coming right back. It's a good meal for a day like today.
Yep.
You want to get your coffee from the place that knows coffee better than anyone else. At Dunkin' Donuts, you can do it. For over 50 years, we've kept America running with our dedication to serving the freshest cup of coffee. America runs on Dunkin'.
Kelly and Regis for the new TD Bank.
We're here with Abe Lincoln, who shall we say is a little peeved.
When I agreed to be on the penny, I was thrilled. But now, it's hardly worth anything. And if there's one on the sidewalk, no one even bothers to pick it up.
TD Bank loves pennies. They'll count them and convert them to dollars for free.
Dollars. Yes, it always comes back to George, doesn't it?
Commerce Bank and TD Bank North are now TD Bank. And at TD Bank, we'll count your coins for free. TD Bank, America's most convenient bank.
So with Fios, I get the best picture quality, the fastest internet, and a multi-room DVR free for 6 months?
Yes, yes, and yes.
Nice. What about you?
The best of intentions.
When Verizon brings fiber optics straight to your home, you can upgrade your entertainment experience and get an HD multi-room DVR free for 6 months. Record shows in one room, watch them in up to 6 other rooms, even set programming times remotely. Try getting all that from cable. Enjoy the best HD quality, the fastest internet, and crystal clear phone service. Get it all together for just $94.99 a month with a 1-year agreement. Call 1-866-699-FIOS to get Fios TV, ranked highest in overall customer satisfaction by J.D. Power and Associates. Ridiculously fast internet, plus an HD multi-room DVR free for 6 months. Call 1-866-699-FIOS today for this limited time offer. This is Fios. This is big.
You look incredible.
Oh, thank
now, is
you.
that the hearty chicken rotini diet?
No, it's the Manhattan clam chowder diet.
Oh, like it? I love it. What's different?
It's the turkey noodle diet.
It's working for you.
I'm on the beef and baked potato diet.
Me too.
You won't believe what you can eat while still watching your calories. Because 25 of your favorite Progresso soups are 100 calories or less per serving.
Is that chicken and wild rice? Yes.
Counting calories, count on Progresso.
TMZ taught me to never do anything immoral, illegal, or just plain stupid unless I alert the media first.
I learned that in Hollywood, people think more of you when they see less on you.
Thanks, TMZ.
Weeknights at 6:30 on Fox 5.
But once the stewardess started to panic, then everybody kind of realized what was going on. But until then, you know, maybe a minute before we went down and crashed, everybody, you know, didn't really think anything of it.
Once the stewardess started to panic, so you know you're in trouble when the crew is reacting. But in the end, the stewardess, I think everyone pulled through and came through.
They saved the day. I mean, they're also credited for not opening those rear doors of that plane, which would have definitely sunk that Airbus.
Yeah, quite possibly. And, well, we're just so glad that all 155 passengers and crew made it out just fine. We've been speaking with them. We are back, by the way, with extended coverage of Good Day New York. We are going to be on overtime, Rosanna.
That's right. We're waiting for Mayor Bloomberg to speak as well.
He's going to be speaking later on in the 9 o'clock hour, right around 10 o'clock. So we're going to be extending our coverage of Good Day New York. But first, let's take a look at some of the most memorable pictures from that emergency landing.
Fox 5 News, this is Good Day New York.